Welcome to a quick crypto update. We're gonna look at the market real quick. We're gonna look over the ETFs. We're gonna look at some charts that look really, really nice. We are gonna check out the Fear and Greed Index, see where we stand, and get a long-term perspective. So the Bitcoin price has been recovering a little bit after the pump and dump from the Trump administration. I feel like things are trying to stabilize itself. If you look at the market, we see quite some movement, but nothing too spectacular. Some coins have been retreating a bit, some have been working up. There is nothing that really pops out. Maybe Move is making a move, which is sweet. And we have Crow, Near protocol. We have some things that are pumping, but the market looks pretty happy overall today. If you look at the ETF in and outflows, we can see that the last couple of days, BlackRock hasn't been buying Bitcoin, but it's changed. We have 38.9 million Bitcoin and a total inflow of 22.1 million, which is always a good sign, of course. If people buy Bitcoin, then supply and demand basically navigates the direction. There is a Bitcoin summit coming up at the White House, and we have a lot of interesting people being there present. So this is going to be very, very eventful. Of course, we have Donald Trump from the White House, and we have Michael Saylor from MicroStrategy. We have Cathie Wood. We have Vitalik from Ethereum here. We have Brian Armstrong from Coinbase, and we have Charles Hoskinson from the Cardano Foundation. Binance is represented with CC as well. So many, many interesting people. I'm really excited to see what's going to happen there, what kind of agreements they make, what kind of outlook they have for crypto. The only one who's missing is the founder of Bitcoin, but we're probably not going to see him any day soon. Interestingly, if we look at the outlook, it seems like things are pretty much in place. And I always love the great visuals that we have from TechDev. And it's just amazing to see the correlation. And of course, to every single day and every single event, you can have a nice graph and you can have nice things to point out. But it always seems to me that the noise, after all, is not that important. And even if the noise is as big as a Trump office, it doesn't seem to be that stark of a difference to what we see in the other years if we look at it from a long-term perspective. Some people are trying to make, let's say, comparisons to the year 2021, and I guess time will tell. This, of course, would be very, very bullish. I am not quite that optimistic in that short of a time frame, but it would be amazing. And who knows, like we have seen institutions coming to Bitcoin quicker than ever before, so a significant price increase might be plausible. If you look at the Bitcoin 4-year cycle, we can see that we are moving out towards the cycles very, very nicely, slowly but steadily. And yeah, I'm expecting us to get to 1 million quicker than people would imagine. Like, even if it takes 2 years, 4 years, it doesn't matter that much. In the end, we are trying to build a stable financial position over the long term. This is a good opportunity actually to get into it, because if we look at the Fear and Greed Index, we are still at extreme fear, which is just amazing to me, because we have been given so many positive news, and there's so much positive going in and out and through the news all over the time that I really quite can't understand it. But if you zoom in a little bit, we have had scores like 15, lowest 15 even, which is just absurd. Like, I think the Corona lows throughout the years have been somewhere around that. And that was a amazing buy opportunity. And just to put this into perspective, I absolutely love this chart because it's not accurate. And I love it because it just gives us a general direction that we're moving in. And it shows us that every single time we would have bought Bitcoin towards the blue area, towards the green area, this would have been a massive, massive opportunity and great move. So we've been at the green area, which is still cheap or accumulation many, many times. Of course, at the start of the Bitcoin era. We had it on $5. We had it back here on 270, but then we had it up here as well to 8,000, and we had 18,000, and then 36,000, and now at almost 100,000, we're still in the green area. And Bitcoin has been going towards the red and even higher at the beginning of the crypto stages multiple times. So it's not unlikely at all that we see something like this happening again. We had the double top here in 2021, which was almost in the red zone as well, still high enough for me. So if we would just project this, let's say the double top that we had already, because I think overall Bitcoin is going to stabilize a little bit. Like, we're not going to see that crazy volatility that we had at the early years. So I'm not expecting like a 100x very time in like the near future. But what I could be seeing in the year 2025, 2026 is something like 400,000, 500,000. And I think this is not too much to ask, especially with a bull run setup like this. I think there are great opportunities ahead. And I think we're still in the very right area. It's still cheap, and even better, we are at the accumulating phase. So this is exactly what we're trying to do. We're trying to build a long-term position. I have been looking at this chart, and this was almost my sole decision making that influenced me to buy at around 15,000 back when I had the chance. And yeah, it has been paying out very well. So I would recommend to cut out the noise, to stop trying to trade. Michael Saylor said that trading is a sign of lesser intellect, and I kind of believe him, because Bitcoin has a very great return, and it's super hard to out trade it, especially over the long term. And as the channel name suggests, this is what we're trying to go for. All right, thank you for being here with me. I'm going to try to make a couple of news updates. I want to be on top of the game myself. I want to make this more visually appealing. I want to make this quicker and efficient. I don't want to talk much or give crazy price predictions that have to come true next month. I just want to have a stable mind and also document my take on things so that I can be corrected later on. I want to register what I'm doing right now, and I want to give the reasons what I do right now, and then I want to see if I was wrong or right, and then I can adjust over time. Cool. With that, thank you very much, and see you at the next update.